Young man, you are officially an adult. You probably finished high school, going to college, trade school, a job. Shit, maybe you have nothing immediately planned right now, but the fact of the matter is you're officially starting your adult life. If you ever played Breath of the Wild, it's sort of similar to how when you completed the tutorial and you see the vast world on top of the Great Plateau, it's beautiful. It's scary. You don't know what's ahead, but you must embark on your journey on your own terms. You were placed here for a higher purpose, and in order for you to lead, you need to ensure that you're taking care of yourself. And your appearance matters. Nobody will take you seriously if you look like a bum. It's the honest truth. You were placed on this planet to lead for a higher purpose. You want people to look up to you. You want to exude confidence and lead with intention. If you consider yourself unattractive or lack confidence, doing these things could only boost your self-esteem. I guarantee you, if you think you're ugly, or if you think people perceive you as ugly, it's most likely because you don't know how to groom yourself properly. And it's also very important to not only show the world that you can take care of yourself, but it's to prove to yourself that you got yourself, especially now that you're an adult and no one else is going to assume that responsibility for you. So to ensure you get there, here's a brief grooming guide that I was not taught growing up. To make this sort of like a mini game, I want you to count the amount of things you don't do on this list. And don't feel embarrassed if you don't do any of these things. At one point in my life, I've done none of these, and I used to wash my hair with literal hand soap. So there's always a good place to start, and there's no judgment to you. I don't see many of these type of videos on the internet, so I hope this is a contribution that finds you. Yeah. So first up, skincare. This is something that can get needlessly complicated, but I'm not going to make it complicated for you at all. If you have bad acne, this advice will be helpful, but chances are you probably need something more than this. If you don't have acne, it is very important you make sure your face looks fresh, brighter, and younger. You know, if you don't have a good skin routine, you're going to age. Those wrinkles are going to come a lot sooner, and we don't want that. The only 4 skin products you need is a cleanser, a face wash, a moisturizer, and sunscreen. The recommended brands I usually use is CeraVe and Shea Moisture. You don't have to overthink this. Just pick a reliable brand and have these 4 things in your morning routine. Try to avoid any and all products that got parabens, that's Portuguese, my bad, parabens, phthalates, formaldehydes, and PFAS. These are very harmful chemicals that tend to be put in fragrances or, I don't know, literally stuff that you should not put in your face. So if your skin product doesn't have any of these and you read the instructions that they give you, you should be fine. I would also recommend having a face towel to use as well too. Don't use the same towel that you use to dry your ass on your face. Also, don't forget to get the crust out your eyes, okay? God, this feels so weird. I feel like I'm talking to my younger self right now. Anyways, next up on the list is grooming. This is something that a lot of men, well, I'm gonna say grooming facial hair to be specific. A lot of men get this wrong, unfortunately, and it has them looking homeless and musty. The bottom line is your facial hair is mainly based on your genetics. If you do not have good facial hair genes, you're better off literally just not having it at all. Some men cannot grow a full beard. Some men rock a nice stash. Other men got a nice goatee. I would say figure out what looks best for you and ultimately decide what is your best look. If you have bad facial hair genes, do not try to grow a beard. Don't. Do not even try. I know you've seen those videos of those people with those magic chemicals that can help you grow facial hair. Trust me, my brother, it's not worth it. You can look great without it. Recently, I started to grow a full beard, and not gonna lie, I was giggling in the mirror, y'all. But I quickly realized it was something that I needed to care for as much as I care for my hair. I was put on to one of my brothers. He told me to use rosemary oil on my beard and on my mustache and to comb it. and trust me, that made my facial hair look so much smoother and it smelled great. There are other beard care tips out there, and I cannot give too much advice on this because I'm new to this too, but I encourage you to do your own research. Just remember that caring for your beard is not the same as growing one. Like I said, if you can't grow one, don't do it. Don't try it. Okay? So shaving, I had bad stories with this one because when I started to grow facial hair in high school, they banned you for having too much facial hair. And when they would catch you not meeting the guidelines, for context, I went to a strict Catholic high school, they would literally just hand you a razor and tell you just go to the bathroom, which was now illegal, by the way. But anyways, my gripe wasn't the rule, but more so they literally did not teach us how to properly groom our facial hair. For reference, in prison they give you more tools to groom. They at least give you shaving cream. But anyways, it almost did irreversible damage to grooming because I thought all you needed was water and a razor, which is obviously not true. Make sure you guys use a good shaving butter and you exfoliate prior to shaving. It will make it much easier for you to shave properly, and it will not damage your skin, cause irritation, or leave ingrown hairs, which hurt a lot. Post-shave matters just as much as the prep, so make sure you use a cool, damp face cloth against the shave area to close your pores and reduce the inflammation you just caused by shaving. And then lastly, moisturize. Please, 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 for the love of Yah, dispose those disposable razors. They are in the name for a reason. Reusing these razors can lead you to passing bacteria to your skin and can lead to skin irritation because the blade is literally weaker the more times you use it because it's not meant to be reused. Don't make that same mistake I did, okay? Next up, and probably the most important thing on this list, is your smell. If you ask any woman, I'm sure they can all universally agree that the number one thing that makes a man unattractive is their smell. Bad breath, or they smell like rajo. You should brush your teeth twice a day, but if you don't brush your tongue, your gums, nor the roof of your mouth, it will stink and bacteria will linger. That's why sometimes when you brush your teeth and you don't do it properly, there's a little lingering smell that's there. You definitely need to invest in a mouthwash. Lastly, please familiarize yourself with flossing. I will literally link a portable floss that you can take with you on the go. If you do any of these things, you're not only going to have chipped skylark teeth, but you won't have bad breath. And if you do any of these things and you still have bad breath, go visit a dentist, please. Young man, you simply cannot afford to have crusty lips. Use lip balm. Use Blistex. Trust me, that shit is not gay, bro. Just put it on, please. People gonna look at you crazy if you got crusty lips. Lastly, it would be good to invest in a good smelling lotion or cologne. I admittedly don't use much cologne, but it's definitely a good option for formal events or you work a job where you have to constantly interact with people. My favorite cologne brands are Armani, Prada, and Dolce and Gabbana. It doesn't have to be expensive, and I admittedly never looked past these three brands anyways. So yeah, as long as it smells good and you wash your ass, don't please wash yourself before you put on perfume. Okay, you're gonna still smell bad if you got perfume on. But anyways, I'm more of a lotion guy. The Bed Bath & Beyond Japanese cherry blossom lotion is my go-to. I will forever continue to use that lotion. Anything that's cocoa butter, oh my god, my accent. But yeah, anything that got cocoa butter in it, it's not only good for your skin, but it smells amazing and refreshing. So I would recommend that. I must make myself clear one more time. If you don't do any of these things, this is no judgment to you. I'm mainly talking to my younger self right now, but yeah, definitely don't feel bad if you do any of these things. The more important part is you recognizing them and you starting to undo those things, okay? But anyways, next up on the list is the clothes. If you're leaving high school or college, you need to invest in some nicer clothes. Growing up in New York City, we've always wore sportswear, sweatpants, nice sneakers. And don't get me wrong, I still wear these things, but you need to also have more formal clothes in your closet. Crew necks. The new thing, unironically, now is quarter zips, dress pants, khakis, dress shirts. You need to have nicer clothes, not only for formal events, but for a job interview. Again, you need to lead with purpose and you need to look like it. So also throw away any lesser quality clothes that you have that have holes or don't fit you or just look dated. When I was in college, I went through a lot of body transformations, so I had to do a lot of wait, body transformation. Why it sound like I got a BBL? Nah, 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 nah. I went to the gym, y'all. Okay, so I look good now. But anyways, I had to do a lot of wardrobe overhauls, and you're gonna thank yourself later for this. And it's not a waste if you replace your wardrobe. Trust me, you can donate your clothes. I literally send mine to DR every year, and there's probably some kid in Santo Domingo right now wearing my Nike tag. But anyways, yeah, you're gonna thank yourself later, and it's gonna require a little bit of effort on your part to pick out the stuff you need to throw away, and find out what new clothes you want. But trust me, it's worth the effort. Last but not least, your posture. This one is huge. There's literally research out there that correct body posture and positioning literally non-verbally communicates confidence, competence, and leadership. Now, much of what I learned was training to give business presentations, so I won't lecture you too much on speaking on that or hand motions or vocal inflections. That could probably be a future video. But anyways, when you speak, you need to stand nice and tall. Have your hands out your pockets, keep eye contact with people, and look around if you're speaking with multiple people. If you're not talking, give a smile. Nod yes if they're the ones talking. These are very easy things that people mess up, especially now that we live in the social media screen era. Trust me, it's going to make you look more human, and people will want to be around you when you do these things. If you want to do some boss poses, I'm going to show some in the screen right now. The arms on the hips is a classic. The new one I've been doing while managing is the hands behind the back pose. That's some G shit, yo. I feel like a freaking like Uncle Iroh or some shit when I stand like this, looking like I run shit. Chill. All right, let me stop. But yeah, also having correct body posture will literally extend your life, especially if you have an awesome job or you game like me. Back pain after many years of arching will not feel good. The last thing I will briefly mention is your language and how you convey yourself, which is going to be a topic in and of itself in my Power of the Tongue video, so stay tuned for that. But that will be all. Please wash your ass and don't be musty. Thank you for watching. Peace be with you all, and all praises to the Most High.